This UFC legend got his first championship belt at the age of 23. Jon Bones Jones is one name that echoes through the UFC. Winning for him, almost like a walk in the park, but he could get into some real trouble too. This is the truth behind Jon Jones, the most controversial MMA fighter of all time. Okay, so Jon Jones is a UFC prodigy with a dark secret. No one younger than 23 has even come close to challenging his title, and it doesn't stop there. He also holds the record for the longest winning streak in the light heavyweight division and the most title fight wins in UFC history. Sure, opinions about him might be split. Love him or not, Jon Bones Jones has etched his name among the greatest MMA fighters ever. Now here's where it gets real. The man known as Bones had his shares of struggles. The pressure, the fame, it led him down a dark path of substances. Surprisingly, the biggest threat to Jon Jones turned out to be himself.
I had this crazy thing that I would do where I would party 1 week before every fight. And I did it throughout my whole career.
But then life hit him hard.
That morning I got in a car accident, man, it was a huge reality check.
One hit-and-run incident almost landed him in jail, and the UFC had to strip him of his light heavyweight crown. Jones, in a tweet, then admitted he'd ruin his career. It was a journey of highs and lows, but to understand how this happened, let's go back to the beginning. So Jonathan Dwight Jones was born and raised in New York in 1987. Now his dad, a pastor, had big dreams of passing down the family pulpit, but young John had other plans brewing. High school was where he dipped his toes into wrestling and won a state championship. College life? Well, he casually bagged the national judo title. John knew deep down he was destined for greatness, and boy, did he prove it. Life took a turn when he found out he was going to be a dad. Instead of wrapping up his university degree, he decided to throw punches for some quick cash. The Jackson Wink MMA Academy became his new home, where he polished his Brazilian jiu-jitsu and striking skills to complement that killer wrestling. In 2008, at just 20, he took the plunge into the pro scene, rocking local promotions. This kid wasn't playing around. Debuting with a bang, he dominated Brad Bernard with a TKO.
Jones with a suplex! Big! He flipped him over. Happy behavior there, raising his hand a little too soon. And if he didn't have the intention of Bernard before, he has it now.
A week later, bam, another knockout against Carlos Eduardo.
Neither one of the guys. That's it. He's out. He's out. And he ate a left there.
6 days after that, a sick guillotine choke against Anthony Pino. Jon Jones was on a roll. With a 84.5-inch reach, he became famous for outstriking opponents like it was a walk in the park. This guy was the real deal. A rising star with the skills and guts to take on anyone in the ring. Then it was time for the UFC. Why? Because this young fighter had already stacked up an undefeated record with 6 impressive wins. With only 2 weeks' notice, Jon dove into the ring against Andres Guzman for his UFC debut. Did he secure a finish? Not quite, but he did what he does best.
Jones tries for right hand. Big difference in the skill level of Jones. You see the punching techniques?
And he likes the uppercut too.
A little hesitant about getting clinched with. Big right hand.
Put on a show and secure a unanimous decision victory. Stepping into the UFC itself is a big deal, but doing it with such flair? That's Jon Jones for you. Next up were Stefan Bonner and Jake O'Brien, and Jones made quick work of them, notching up 2 more dominant victories. The first fight, oh boy, that's one for the books. Bonner, an Ultimate Fighter finalist, had the cage experience with the best. People doubted Jones, saying he was too green for the challenge, but guess what? Bonner's probably still having nightmares. Jones danced around, avoiding takedowns, and unleashed a barrage of suplexes, kicks, and elbows that left Bonner scratching his head for answers. That's how you make a statement.
Bonner trying for a trip, winds up on his back.
Wow. Jon Jones was riding the hype wave so high that he secured a prime spot on a cable TV UFC fight card. That's how he got a chance to show his incredible skills against Matt Hamill. In the bout, Jones dominated.
Very unpredictable and creative. Very nice body kick by Jones.
Jones likes the throws.
Nice.
trouble for Matt Hamill.
Matt Hamill's in deep, deep trouble.
unleashing a flurry of punches while the referee hesitated to stop the fight. Jones, relentless as ever, introduced 12 to 6 elbows, violating the rules. Referee Steve Mazzagatti intervened when the illegal strikes persisted, leading to Jones being disqualified. Later, it was revealed Hamill had dislocated his shoulder, sparking debates about Mazzagatti's refereeing skills and whether the decision should have been different. Tough break for Jones' undefeated streak, but hold up, it gets interesting. Hamill, the man in the middle of the chaos, later revealed the truth, saying Jones was in the clear and he didn't see himself as the true winner. Controversy aside, let's focus on the real takeaway. Nobody had given Matt such a beating, and to date, that's the lone blotch on Jones's record. Now, about those controversies, we'll dive into that in a hot minute. Now, buckle up for the next chapter in Jones's journey. After shaking off that first hiccup, he charged forward, hungry for more. Then it was time to face Vladimir Matyushenko at UFC Live in 2010. Jones faced him, and guess what? Yep, another victory. First round strikes, Matyushenko didn't know what hit him.
Underneath, got a leg, and he's got to take down. Very nice. Standing up.
Jones'
Jones on
elbows
top.
are lethal. Right on top of the action, and it is all over!
Now, here came the twist. Next up, Ryan Bader at UFC 126. But Bader was out with an injury.
Pushes cardio. High kick by Jones. Nice kick. Oh, look at this. Oh, he got it. It's all over! Jon Jones!
The UFC pulled a surprise move and brought in the big gun, Mauricio Shogun Rua, for the light heavyweight championship. No one thought Bones stood a chance. Jon, with just over a year in the UFC and only 3 fights, getting a title shot? Some said he didn't earn his stripes, but guess what? Jones shut them down at UFC 128 on March 19th, 2011. It was an impressive performance. Jones schooled Shogun Rua, becoming the youngest champ in UFC history at 23. With a barrage of strikes,
Jones again with the right hand.
that trademark spinning elbow, and a third round TKO, the world went wild.
Jones to the body, and it is all over!
Jones was an overnight sensation, hailed as the future of MMA. Watching him in that fight was a show in itself, dominating a respected champ like Shogun Rua with a mix of striking, grappling, and some seriously unorthodox moves. It was a turning point, making Jones as a bona fide superstar in the game. Jones defended his title against Quinton Rampage Jackson at UFC 135, sealing his dominance.
Being All-American in wrestling. He's got the neck. He's got his neck. Rampage has not been stopped in the octagon. That's what Jones is.
It's all over! Jon Jones!
He then faced Lyoto Machida at UFC 140, securing a standing guillotine choke.
Decided to try to take this fight to the ground. Good kick to the body by Jon.
And now Jones looks for the
Huge
takedown.
takedown by Jon Jones.
The force and angle of the elbows of Jon
Jones
Jones.
bleeding already. He did that when he uses wrestling.
Oh! What's this fight?
He made it.
It is all over! It is all over!
In 2012, he defended twice, beating Rashad Evans,
Pinch reach advantage for Jones, who goes toward his output. And there you see there with the left. There's a nice leg. Decides to sprint to the finish. Rashad, he tagged him. He would love to finish this fight.
And still!
and overcoming an armbar from Vitor Belfort at UFC 152.
Toolbox, and we can build something.
Kick to the body, he hurt him, he hurt him, he hurt him. With that side kick to the body, and now the axe. This is it. Oh, secure the right arm. Going for Kimura. It is all over! Jon Jones remains!
In 2013, Jones took on a string of tough opponents. He went head-to-head with Chanel Sonnen at UFC 159, and let me tell you, it was a lopsided affair. Jones displayed his superior skills in both striking and grappling.
You either have to be scared of a guy, or you're not scared of a guy.
Kenny wants to put him on his back, and he does.
Big
Wow, by Jones. Chelsea's swarming on is Jones.